In 2026, trading is kind of split into two schools of thought. One thinks that market is perpetually going up, and another one says that the market will fall and there's going to be an apocalypse and it's going to trigger a reset. Regardless of the school of thought, what's important is your thoughts are no longer dominant anymore. Around 60% of global trades are actually placed by algorithms now.
Algorithms now run the market. 60% of global trades are decided before you react.
So here's a quick primer into algo trading. Let's just call it algo trading because, yeah, easier to say. Now, instead of a human actually manually clicking that buy or sell button, imagine a computer doing it based on preset instructions. That preset instructions can be anything. Like Japan में interest rate कम हो गया, क्या करना चाहिए? Trump ने कुछ बोल दिया, क्या करना चाहिए? That kind of stuff. But I don't think anybody can program for Trump anymore. It's just impossible now, is it? Something as simple as GST का rate बोल दिया, क्या करना चाहिए? So all this already exists in the algo which is trained by whoever is training algos, right? Basic pre-existing conditions. If that condition is met, the computer instantly starts placing orders or sells or buys or whatever with the exchanges. Over 60% of trades in markets nowadays are just algos. Bet you a lot of you didn't know this. So the next question is it actually better or is unfair on individual retail investors? So there's a few factors which obviously make algorithmic trading better. Now, number one is the speed. Obviously, a program is going to react much faster to news, events, wars, whatever. It's going to react much faster. Humans suffer from fear and greed, but your algo is just disciplined. Like many times humans will randomly think that such and such thing will happen and hold on to their position and actually mess up. But algos don't care. Program कर दिया है तो काफी है. And even with multiple monitors, right? Usually traders sit with multiple screens, 6-7 screens, monitor multiple charts. But even with that, can you actually assimilate information and act on that information faster than what a computer can do? The short answer is no. So yeah, it's kind of unfair on the individual investor. But there are inherent risks to this. Now, algorithmic trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Not everyone actually is capable of training algos and getting trading done. It's not going to happen. Like a simple internet outage, it can mess it up for you big time. You can end up losing a lot of money. So yeah, redundant power supplies will help you. And it's not as easy as it sounds. Your strategy may look perfect on paper, but may not actually perform in the real world situation. Like, I mean, आजकल देख ही लो मत. एक दिन टैरिफ ज़्यादा है, एक दिन टैरिफ कम है. I mean, who could have predicted that stuff, right? So, आजकल की दुनिया में थोड़ा algo भी अलग बनाना पड़ेगा आपको. Now, algorithms are also heavily regulated, so not anybody can just set up an algorithmic trading thing. So, let's get into what kind of hardware you need for something like this algorithmic trading setup, HFT, basically. So, there's a wide range of sub-use cases in this, according to which your hardware kind of changes. So, let's get into it. Number one is HFT and arbitrage kind of stuff. High frequency trading is a system where algo buys an asset on $10 in site A and sells it maybe at 5 cents extra in site B. Simultaneously, obviously, you're just making 5 cents on that rate, but imagine them doing it a million times a day. So that's where the money is being made. For this kind of a flow, you probably need a processor which has a really high frequency. मतलब उसका gigahertz वाला component is really high. So up until last year or 2 years back, it was 14900K, but now you would want to go with Ultra 9 and maybe 9950X3D. And a lot of users actually overclock their processors. They overclock this so that they get the highest possible frequency. Now the GPU is of little to no use actually. नहीं चाहिए GPU. I mean, remotely laptop से अगर आप connect कर सकते हो, so you really don't need it. And for RAM and storage, go for the maximum possible RAM, 128 or 196 GB, just about 1 terabyte of NVMe, and there it is. I mean, सबके price बढ़ चुके हैं, so yeah. But hey, you're gonna make crores and crores doing this, so उतना मत सोचो उसके बारे में. And just another quick point, you don't use the standard Ethernet on your motherboard. You actually use a network interface card, which is like plugging data directly to your internet, kind of. It doesn't go through the whole motherboard circuit. It just goes poof out. And typically when people make these setups, it's not in a tower format. It's in a 1U or a 2U rack. 1U भी prefer करते हैं लोग because you kind of need to co-locate these in the exchanges, NSE or BSE for India and wherever else it actually is in the exchange. So These exchanges, NSE or BSE, they charge you by the size. There's a monthly rental you need to pay to co-locate this stuff. So yeah, you want that size to be smaller so that your monthly outlay is lesser. There's something called sentiment analysis using AI, and that kind of uses LLMs, maybe the advanced ones, to actually ingest tweets, news articles, headlines, tweets from influential people. Wonder what the algo thinks about Elon's tweets or Trump's tweets. कुछ भी हो सकता है. एक दिन नोबेल प्राइज नहीं मिला तो बाद में मिल भी गया. So yeah, hey, congratulations, Mr. Trump. Now, of course, to run this kind of a thing, you actually need a higher-end GPU. Download the algo and run it locally. So yeah, और महंगा हो जाएगा system. But hey, like I said before, if you're going to be earning crores, why do you care? The processor recommendation largely remains the same. You should be going with the highest clock frequency kind of processor, Ultra 9s. Ultra 7 से भी काम हो जाएगा if you're just doing sentiment analysis and not really connecting to the exchange directly. But hey, the main thing you need, since it's AI, is GPUs. A 5080 or a 5090, I'm guessing is bare minimum on this. Bare minimum. कर लो, तेजी से काम होगा ना, मतलब ADA 4220 GB use करते हो, 20. Another typical algorithm that people use is trend following and backtesting. So basically you have shit tons of market data and you're doing backtesting with your latest algo that you have created. So what kind of hardware do you need in that use case? So now, because your data set is super high, you probably are looking at something like a AMD Threadripper, because hey, a lot of cores and a lot of threads are going to help you crunch through those numbers faster. And backtesting is usually done in parallel. So you can test 64 different versions of your strategy on a 64-core processor. Now, NVIDIA had also released a paper on this saying that this parallel backtesting is faster on GPUs. Hey, like everything else. No wonder her GPU ka price badh raha hai. And again, you're looking at 128 GB of RAM and 1 TB of SSD. That's pretty much the case with all kinds of HFT setups. So yes, that was us trying to explain in a simple way how different kind of algorithmic approaches change the hardware need for you, right? And yes, it's not that black and white, it's kind of gray, just like RAM pricing nowadays. If you want a similar server or any kind of server or any kind of PC for any kind of use case, you're at the right place. Do get in touch with us. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.